Hey up, Sofa Squad, and welcome to a special edition of On the Sofa, where we're going to be talking all about the Northern Independence Party. And we're going to be talking about, what their goals are, what their policies are, and whether or not it's a good idea. So
Whether
with
or not it's
me,
a good idea is quite subjective, of course.
of course, yeah. So with me, as always, is my co-host, Sci Niece.
I promise I'm not half dead today.
We've got friend of the show, Raspberry Beret,
Je suis français.
and other friend of the show, Purple Rhymes with Orange.
Hello.
Just to bring some sanity into this.
And
Sanity? We're bringing sanity, so you're leaving.
And we've got Godless Sewing Will in the
Hi,
cast as well.
Will! Always a pleasure to have Will around.
Hey, Will, I'll tell you something. Out of the 4 people who are on screen now, I bet Will actually knows more about the Northern Independence Party than we do.
Well, it's very possible that he does, but I don't think I'm not going to open my mouth again because last week I did that and it got derailed. So I'm gonna have a nice cup of shut the fuck up.
Well, I gave Sci Niece some homework to do.
Oh dear.
So I'm hoping that she at least knows something about about what we're talking about this evening.
I did skim the website when I could through bouts of bare consciousness. I did have a little bit of a scare because my blood is currently so dangerously thin that if I make one wrong move, I will die from catastrophic internal bleeding. But hey, I did what I
could. we can ask no more.
Exactly. Well, that's just in general. We do what we can do, and that's what we do. And that's life. And stool is French.
Correct them all.
To be fair, Black Sofa gave me homework too, but I did just like I did all my homework and ignored it.
Oh, I don't get
my
homework.
God! Oh, Purple, we are kindred spirits. The only reason I had to go to summer school freshman year of high school is because I didn't give a flying fuck about homework. And now I'm a dropout. Fun fact.
Well, I pissed off all the teachers because I ignored most of my homework. I slept through class and still got B's on the test, so they couldn't flunk me.
Oh, I pissed off all my teachers. Oh, and my mother encouraged me to do it. Did I tell you guys the 8th grade T-shirt story? My mom went to Las Vegas for a few days with my stepfather, and she comes back with this T-shirt for me that says, "Your lips keep moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah." She hands it to me, and she says, "Okay, this is what you're wearing to school tomorrow because I feel like pissing off all your teachers."
Yes, I sent a link to Purple as well, but I didn't send a link. I didn't send a link to you, Store, because maybe I was wrong to assume this, but I just assumed that you'd be clued up on the Northern Independence Party.
Yes, you're usually a lot more informed on political matters such as this. This is a shocker for you.
But it's not a shocker. The only reason I'm here is because I know nothing about this. And I know damn well that you don't, Sci Niece. And when Perps came along, I just thought this is going to be awesome because I've got nothing.
So you're just here to entertain and educate yourself at the same time, and you're not sure which it'll be more of. Would that be a fair assessment?
Kind of, yeah. I'm just here for the eye candy. That's what I provide. Le candy du Oriel? No, they're biscuits. I don't know.
Oh, here's a good question. Okay, Will. His real question is why Preeti Patel is posing for pictures with immigration officials as someone is being deported. You know what? I think if I actually got into my opinion of that, we'd probably get shut down in about 10 seconds.
Oh, that is something I could bitch about for an hour. Me.
Well, you know what?
But don't worry, Mike. I'm not going to. Don't worry. Unless you want me to do it in French.
I'll tell
never
you one
tried that.
first thing I don't want you to do. Ho, ho, ho.
I never do that.
Well, of course not. No woman would desire you. Or man, if that's what you're into.
Some might. You never know.
Yeah, don't be so homophobic.
It's not about
Racist.
being homophobic. It's the stool is ugly.
Hey, Will, I just called her a racist. Yay me. I'm on phone.
Oh, congratulations. So Will's a racist and I'm a homophobe. Is that the thing now? Keep in mind, I do
Indeed.
swing for both teams.
But you usually miss,
Ah.
to be fair.
I've been in a relationship for almost 5 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
Ooh, listen to the grown-up.
Yes, exactly. So shut up.
Yeah, stop derailing Mike. Show some respect.
Anywho, so obviously we can't go through the entire manifesto because we'd be here all night. But I thought we'd just go through their frequently asked questions page. And the first question that they get frequently asked
Where's the border?
Yeah.
I
This
love
reminds me of
country.
an old Wendy's commercial.
Yeah.
I'm sure Purple knows the one. I wasn't even born when it came out.
But just for a bit of context, the Northern Independence Party, they're a socialist party who want they want to make Northumbria an independent country, basically.
Make Northumbria exist again, essentially.
Are
Yeah,
you shitting
That
me?
I did read.
Is that a real thing?
it is a real thing. I thought they were
Oh,
I thought they were joking at first. I thought it
I
was
thought it was
satire.
just a terribly made up name, but apparently Northumbria at one point was a real thing.
Yeah.
Why don't they just have Scotland invade and move the border south? That'll make everybody happy, right?
That
I
just sounds
actually-
like an HBO drama waiting to happen.
I blocked these fools. I'm now remembering. I blocked them a while ago because they were talking absolute nonsense. But I kind of assumed that they were being serious. Now that Mike's told me this, oh, fuck.
I genuinely thought it was satire to begin with, but then I saw an interview that Owen Jones did with the founder, Robert Proudfoot, I think his name is off the top of my head, and
Proudfoot,
Is that his
are
name?
you serious?
that is his name, and
This is just giving me flashbacks to my time working in a government office.
he came across as very sincere and very serious about it all. And then shortly after that, they released their manifesto. So they are serious. They're serious about this.
This is not real. It can't be real.
Well, apparently it is because it's got a whole official website and everything. The real question is, how much traction will it gain?
Well,
Apparently it has the potential to gain some, since we're all here bullshitting about it.
I think
Because after
I'm
all,
gonna-
nothing exists until we've bullshitted about it here on the sofa.
I'm
Didn't the
gonna
Vikings
take a
take
wild
care of
guess
Northumbria?
here.
That's a good question.
I'm going to take a wild guess. The very fact that I haven't got a fucking clue who these people are means that they're not important. But hey,
Well, that's narcissistic.
but this is the UK, and you've got to remember that a lot of people voted for Count Binface, Nigel Farage, UKIP. You know,
yeah.
nothing makes sense anymore. So who knows?
Do you know what this reminds me of, Stall? It reminds me. I don't know if you watched this, quite a few years ago, but do you remember Danny Wallace made a series called "How to Start Your Own Country"?
I've never heard of that. No.
Oh,
Remind
yeah.
me who Danny
I
Wallace
kind of
is.
want to watch it just to say that I've watched it now. That sounds like something I would watch to entertain myself.
Just remind me who Danny Wallace is, Mike.
Danny Wallace is he's a comedian. I think he wrote a book called where where
so
he always
he's a
said
f-
yes to to everything. And
So
he
he's a
wrote
normal,
book
sane person.
yeah.
He's
Sounds
not
more like
a
a really
weirdo.
bad Jim
No.
Carrey movie that I've heard of.
Actually, that Jim Carrey movie was based on the book that he wrote.
I never
So-
watched it. I did
I'm
mean
gonna
to
have-
watch it at some point, but
I'm gonna have to Google this afterwards because if I'm not trusting Mike today for some reason because I'm convinced this is an April Fool's joke.
how can it be an April Fool's joke when we're in the middle of May? Go ahead, explain your non-logic.
That's the
the
perfect
joke.
time for an April Fool's joke. The beginning
That's
of
the
April,
joke.
everyone's expecting it.
Yeah.
And you've fallen for it.
But yeah, you can actually watch it on YouTube. How to start your own country.
Danny Wallace, is that the name?
Yeah, Danny
Okay.
Wallace.
This sounds like something I need to see. I'll definitely be checking that out.
Unlike other people here, I will do my homework later.
And he
Yes, but will you do it well?
he tried to. Sorry, go on.
I'm not talking over you.
But he
Happened last time.
the premise of his show was he wanted to start his own country in his own flat, and he was doing it with his tongue firmly in his cheek. He was doing it for the lols, but he basically, it's quite interesting because he found out that he would need his own constitution, his own rules. He would need to have his own currency, and it was done for laughs, but it was it's very interesting. And this is what.
That sounds good, actually. I've never heard of it before, but I must look into that. That sounds like a blast.
And this is what this reminds me of. What the Northern Independence Party are trying to do.
So basically, I'm asking you to teach me here, Mike. Now, accept this because it's not going to happen ever again. So are these? I'm still convinced that these people are taking the piss. So are they? Just be genuine. Are they serious? Or are they just Are they serious?
Things have turned into serious movements. So
Be
I'm not sure why you're
deluded.
skeptical.
Or see just having a laugh?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, Storr, but they're serious enough to start to build their own website and to
Were these people on the list of things that we voted for a few weeks ago?
Yeah, take the damn mattress, you piece of shit.
I don't think so.
All right.
But
So the people in the yellow bit, did they get to vote for these people? Should they choose to?
Thelma, there was a lady called Thelma Walker who was standing as an MP.
That sounds like a character from 1960s Coronation Street.
It does, but she was standing in Hartlepool.
So they put the money up to stand. So,
yes.
But then again, so did Count Binface.
Yes.
Didn't Count Binface actually get quite a few votes?
Yes, he did, but not enough
That's
to be
terrifying.
Okay.
not enough to become mayor.
Well, no, not enough to become mayor. That would just be preposterous. But here in the U.S., we had something similar. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone remember the gorilla Harambe that was wrongfully shot because her kid? People wrote him in for multiple different public offices that year. I personally wrote him in for town council.
There was also that occasion. I think it was in. I'm going to delve into America just slightly here. Perps will probably kill me. But there was that time. Was it in what you called the midterms? Last time around, where
what year was
people? what, I don't know, 2 years ago, but I can't remember.
2 years ago, so I guess technically 3. I get if it was 2018, then yes, that would have been considered midterms. The reason they're called midterms is middle of the presidential term.
No shit. Thanks for sorting that out.
Listen, I'm just proud of myself that I figured that out on my own without anyone having to tell me. Let me have my moments of self-pride.
But one place voted for somebody who was dead, and he won.
Oh, yeah. Nevada actually elected a dead pimp to be a representative in the state legislature.
Pimp? Okay, a dead person is horrible enough, but a pimp?
He actually owned several brothels before he died.
Oh my God.
You know what? We are getting too derailed. All right, so
but
the border, Mike.
Well, okay. A better one is in Pennsylvania.
Oh God damn it!
In the 2016 election.
Oh no.
A man elected himself to be a county judge because he wrote his own.
He elect himself?
He wrote his own name in as a candidate, and it turned out there were more empty seats than there were candidates listed on the ballot. So by having one vote for himself, he got a seat.
All right, so which of the bumblefuck red counties was this? Because that would never fly in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I forget which county it was, but
that sounds like that sounds like maybe that's got to be one of the bumblefuck counties for sure.
Yeah. Anywho. Where's the border that the Northern Independence Party are proposing? It's this yellow area here. Our current
would be turning England into a sandwich.
Is there any significance? Bearing in mind this is the first time I've ever seen this ridiculous map. I'm guessing, because my eyesight is bad, it's the northern border of their new country. What's above the northern border?
Well, I was assuming that was Scotland to the north.
Scotland.
They've not quite got into Scotland there, I don't think.
But it says here, our current proposal includes all of the northeast, northwest, Yorkshire, and the Humber and High Peak.
Whoa. Northwest?
Yes.
Northwest of England?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck
when,
you.
where, and how hard, right?
So, yeah, in other words, it does include where you live, Stool.
Oh, no, Stool is going to become a very stable milking Northumbrian.
It includes Leeds, obviously, Yorkshire.
No. Oh, dude, so, Mike, what are we going to do?
We're going to have to evacuate. We're going to... We'll have to leave. We'll have to either go further up north into Scotland or further down south.
My recommendation on this tricky
as an American,
subject, Mike,
I never recommend moving south.
Yeah, always move north.
I want to move north, honestly, but at the same time, I hate the New England Patriots, so I don't think I'd fit in very well.
You could head for Canada as political refugees.
That map is really pissing me off.
You know what, Stool? It's not like you're hard to piss off anyway, so that's very hard to take seriously. You're just a grumpy old Frenchman.
Oui.
Is that what you just did in your pants?
Shush, Mike's talking.
No, that's what he has in his pants is a wee.
Yeah, take it.
Oh, skidoosh. So, where's the capital?
Who just played that rim shot?
Where's the capital? We don't want to recreate Westminster, where everything revolves around a single capital, and everywhere else lives in its shadow. We're examining a number of alternatives, such as having different capitals for different functions, or having
different capitals with different functions. This is a wind up.
or having a
Oh my
parliament.
god, I don't think we can convince Stool that this isn't one massive prank.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
Of course it does.
Or having a parliament.
Mike,
Yes.
do you remember Jeremy Beadle?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Is he lurking around the corner somewhere?
Well,
see, this is their plot. This is how they're going to win. Because if they prevent the opposition from taking them seriously, then the opposition will never organize against them and they'll win.
It's a plot.
It's a plot. It's a. I personally think it's a plot on behalf of the Tories to split the socialist vote.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there.
Yeah, there's definitely points to be made for that theory for sure. So I just need to know, like, do they not understand what exactly a capital is? You can't have different capitals for different functions. That's not how capitals work.
Well, I think what they're actually intending is saying that rather than having all of the government centered in one city, they're going to spread it out and have different departments in different cities.
Oh, that sounds familiar. You mean kind of like what we already have?
So it just,
I mean, we had this discussion a few weeks ago, Mike, did we not? I mean, we were trying to explain to our American friends about local councils and so forth.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we already have that. Are they reinventing the wheel?
Apparently
so. Sounds like it.
Well, I think pretty much any functioning country that has more than one city is doing that, but...
Or the other option is having a parliament that moves periodically between major northern cities.
Hang on a fuck. I've got to do a timeout on this one, Mikey. I've got to do a timeout on this one because you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Of course.
I'm not sure.
Now, I'm asking Mike, think about it. Okay? I'm going to give you approximately 10 seconds to think about it. So they want a parliament that periodically moves. Kind of like that thing that the Gammons don't like, where the EU Parliament has to move to France every once a month.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
do you get me?
Yeah.
Are these people Gammons? I don't understand this. I literally don't understand this because you described them in your wonderful introduction that they claim to be a socialist party.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not is it the Gammons playing a trick?
What?
No, they can't play tricks, can they? Because they're dumb as fuck. What is happening here?
South England will have to learn to say y'all, and North will go around thinking they know what's best for all. You know, it's funny. This is giving me... this sounds like something that happened over here, and we all know how that ended with the North and South split.
Yeah, what functional advantage would there be to moving the parliament periodically that would possibly justify the cost involved to the country?
Does it actually say there? I can't read the text, but does it say
having a parliament that moves periodically between major northern cities?
So, like,
at the end of the day, it will be for the northern people to decide.
Yeah,
but it has to move periodically. This is the word I'm zoning in on here.
Okay,
it has to move periodically. That is bizarre. That is really fucking bizarre.
In other words, wait and see.
This is not a real party. This is a joke.
Yeah, that final sentence actually says, we don't actually have a plan. We'll figure that out after the split.
Yeah.
Will an independent North join the EU? This is what I'm here for.
Oh, are you here for the bad stuff?
Aren't I always? That's the whole reason I accepted this gig.
Well,
Well, kind
Do
of
you
just jumped to accept it because I needed something else to do with my time besides my godforsaken job.
Do you get paid more for this than I did? Because all Mike ever gave me was a bag of chips.
What the hell's Mike going to give me? I'm on the other side of the world. I do this pro bono.
Wait a minute. A bag of chips or a bag of crisps?
Yeah, exactly. By chips, I mean... Mike knows what I mean. I can't be asked to explain to Americans.
So he gave you what we call
the
French
fish
fries.
and chips in the no-cod era, huh?
Non-cod. Non-cod. I'm doing my French. Non-cod.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The fact that you're embracing this, it's growth on your part, Stool. I'm proud of you.
What am I embracing exactly? I literally haven't got a clue what any of this means. But I'm interested in it. I'm not French. Fuck it, you off. So I'm interested in the next part, so we'll let Mike speak, because if we don't, he'll twat me. Will the North join the EU? That is... Okay, this is a joke.
The majority of the people in the North voted to leave the EU, and this was confirmed by the election of Boris Johnson in 2019. Brexit is done and we have left. The Northern Independence Party is committed to democracy and embracing our new relationship with the EU and the rest of the world. We are keen to see the government keep the promises they made about this new relationship. However, should the people of the Free North want to rejoin the EU one day, then that is a decision for the people and not any political party to make.
Oh, fuck off, you dickwads. I hate this argument.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
in other words, wait and see again.
Yeah. But
I don't think these people actually have a plan. I think this is just pipe dream psychobabble.
Okay, but as leaving the EU has been so crippling for Britain, as an economic power that is far smaller, we're going to do better.
Exactly.
Don't get me started about Australia, because
apart from the fact that Brexit isn't done, it's fucking far from done.
Never will be, ever.
Well, yeah, look at all these cakes you have to iron out, and new ones keep popping up. You iron one, it's like whack-a-mole. It's not even ironing out cakes, you're whacking moles. You whack one, and another one pops up. It makes my brain hurt.
The Northern Ireland Protocol has to be renegotiated. Our relation, our new agreement with the EU has to be renegotiated every 2 years. It's not over. It's never going to be over. It's not done.
I'll tell you what I hate, Mike.
I feel like the EU is just patiently waiting for the UK to realize it fucked up and want to come back with its tail between its legs.
You see, you've touched a nerve there, because the thing that winds me up, there are a lot of people out there on the social medias who say, okay, that's cool, Lux. There are a lot of people out there who seem to think that the UK, and I am derailing, I'm sorry, Mike. There are a lot of people who think that we can just, because we're British and we're like the best, we can just click our fingers and say, okay, change our minds, let us back in. That's not how it fucking works.
It's not.
I don't expect that to be how it works. I'm just saying, I'm speaking in terms of a bigger picture.
Oh, yeah, I get you. But, we are now nobodies.
Yeah.
So should we want to, let's say, whatever magic happens, we want to rejoin the EU, 27 countries, we would have to apply.
Yeah.
And 27 countries, if we met all their fucking terms and requirements, would have to vote on it. It's not a case of, hello, we fucked up, let us back. That's not how it works.
No,
Anyway, I derailed. Sorry.
no, it's fine. The next FAQ is: will we keep the Queen? Many
I'll keep
people.
her. I'll
Many.
keep her in my cellar. And I'll
Stop!
feed her.
You're gonna
I'll
end
feed-
up with the British version of the Secret Service at your door. Stop now!
Oh, Mike, have you
Yeah.
got your pencil and paper? Because Sci Niece just brought a thing into my head. Write
What's
it
that?
down. You know the people who we've now got who are going to come to our houses to check if we've had jabs or
Oh, yeah.
tests, or if you've come back from a foreign holiday.
Mm.
This is your homework, my friend, because I've got big, massive info on that fucker that will blow your headphones off.
Oh, is this something we should discuss in another show?
That's what I just said, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, then.
Rain check.
Looking forward to it.
Many people in the North love the royal family, and it is not for us as a party to decide this. If enough people in a free North want to keep the Queen as head of state, as she is in many Commonwealth countries, then she will be invited to remain. I like that. She will be invited to remain.
What's okay, British question to British Mike.
Yeah.
Keep it very brief. Do we keep her? I know the answer. Do we keep her or do we? I mean, she's going to be dead soon anyway. But do we keep her or do we get rid?
My personal opinion is that the Queen should be our final monarch.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel about Charles as king. I don't expect people to accept him. I mean, I see a lot of things on the Book of Faces where I honestly frequent a lot more than Twitter, and it would seem that a lot of people really don't want Charles as the next king. Either William and Kate should take over, or they should just not have monarchy anymore.
Again, I have a compromise. I think most of the people in the UK could support. Get rid of the Queen, keep the corgis.
Just to do a quick sidetrack.
Without saying,
this is important.
One of the corgis just died.
That's what I was going to say. So, Perps, respect
yeah, I had
the
heard
corgi
that one of them died.
Show your respect.
Yes, we shall put respect on the name of the corgi.
The point is, could your country do any worse if it literally went to the dogs?
Oh, fuck you.
Oh my god.
Mike,
God damn it, Purple, you killed Mike.
Mike, kick Purple out. That is just not suitable.
That was beautiful. You know what? Not that I didn't have respect for you before, Purple, but holy shit, that was beautiful. Even I couldn't have come up with that. And we all know I'm the resident snarky asshole of this show.
I'm not going to say that I'm going to do this, but
Charles will be your Trump. What makes you say that, Ox? Please explain yourself. I'd like your justification here. Take your time typing out your response because I want thought put into it. I don't like inane responses.
I'm not going to press the button on my soundboard that sings, "Who lets the dogs out?" Ooh. I will never do that.
Stool, why do you have a soundboard? That sounds like a terrible idea.
I get bored. But I do feel slightly sad.
Hence why you crashed this.
Yeah. But I do feel, I'm being genuine here, I do feel slightly sad that the Queen's corgi, or one of hers, has passed away, which she was given.
Dog deaths are much sadder than human death.
But she was given it as a companion because her husband died. So, yeah, boo-hoo, I've got emotions. Fuck you, you
No,
cunt.
that is actually, like, I saw that earlier today, and it did break my heart.
Les cunts.
But I just think it's a bit arrogant of them to say
that they'll invite her to remain.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah. like they'll have a choice.
Condescending.
They've got their arse about face. They're assuming that they'll become a Commonwealth country.
This is not real.
Yeah, I'm honestly
This
more
is so
puzzled
not
about
real.
the idea that they think being a Commonwealth would be better for them than being a part of the UK to begin with.
I'm just. I mean, I know I was reading into why exactly this party formed, and it did have a taste of fuck Keir Starmer, but I'm just, other than that, I can't seem to find any solid motivation here. Not that
There's
fuck
no
Keir Starmer
motivation.
isn't a totally valid sentiment, but
It's a joke thing, and this is what we're dealing with in this fucked up country now. Any random dick can just say, "Hey, I'm cool." If you say the right keywords
well, yeah, you're a
and the
prime example of
buzzwords.
that.
Am I running for an election?
Hopefully not.
L.
Hopefully you're not running for. Hopefully you never run for public office, because that's a terrifying concept.
I'd win, and you know this.
That's
Side
what
chat.
scares me. People would be
Side
stupid
chat.
enough to vote for you.
Get Nexit done.
Side. Listen, you know damn well I'd win. Side chat. # Team Stool. You know I'd win.
He would probably win because people would believe he was literally a stable milking stool and decide that electing a piece of furniture would be better than a human.
Well,
But
we
here's the
already tried
important thing,
electing
Purple.
we already tried electing a garbage can. I mean, a garbage can already ran for office. That didn't go too well. So what's the next step?
The important thing is I'm not. I don't judge people. I do, but I would actually embrace, not physically, because that would be weird and gay. And And Mike is obviously having a gay relationship with Josh, so I'm not going to.
No, you leave my no. We will not have insinuations here that Mike and my boyfriend that's not happening here. My boyfriend already has an extensive harem of unwilling straight men that he hits on for the sole purpose of making them uncomfortable. No, not even on Fortnite. In real life, it's terrifying. One of my followers, one of my personal friends, Josh hits on him relentlessly for the sole purpose of making him uncomfortable. Now, there is a mutual understanding between the two of them that it's a joke. And if he ever did say, you know what, it's got to stop, Josh would stop. But there will be no gayness between Mike and my boyfriend.
The relevant question is, how would Josh feel if one of these guys took it seriously and responded?
Quack, quack.
I honestly think that in his incessant need to come out on top, he would take steps to come out on top in the type of context we don't need to discuss here.
Okay.
It would get pretty gay, probably pornographic. I mean, there was a bit of an incident last weekend where Josh and I were out with friends, and he overheard. He went to my car to get something, and we were all sitting outside on the front porch at my friend's house, and he overheard somebody say something about homosexual sex, and proceeded to come back to the porch while removing his pants.
This is a derail of massive proportions.
And it's all your fault. Anyway, so, yeah, condescending as hell, inviting the queen to remain as head of state. Yeah. If I were in her position, I'd be quite insulted.
But the final sentence, or the final couple of sentences, if the majority of people want to be a republic, then we will be a republic. Either way, this will be decided by a referendum in a free north.
Yeah, referendums. Yay.
Yeah. Again, every paragraph ends with, we don't really have a plan.
We're just gonna wing it. Yeah. How well do you think winging it goes in these kinds of... Jesus Christ.
And don't you need at least some kind of an interim policy how are you going to run your country between the separation and the time it takes to have an election and count the votes and enact all these referendums?
Not to mention being recognized by the rest of the world.
This is not leadership.
No, this is pandemonium.
But,
this is catering to all the people who voted for Brexit without having a plan.
So will an independent North use the first past the post voting system? What?
Do you want to read this one?
I'm not very happy with this yellow area because American people will not necessarily know this, but geographically, because Mike is on one side of a hill and I'm on the other side, we are legally obliged to hate each other.
That happens all over America. I am contractually. Since I moved back here last year, I am now contractually obliged to rip on Iowa on all occasions.
I'm contractually obliged to hate everybody because I live in Philadelphia and everybody hates us, so we have to hate everyone back.
Yeah, well, like Doc Fearsome knows I don't really hate him, but since I now live in Minnesota and he lives in Iowa, I have to attack him now. It's just required.
You leave Doc Fearsome alone. I will end you. Doc Fearsome is a fellow hotel slave, so he and I have a bit of a, we're united in hotel serfdom. So I will fiercely defend him. Anyway, so will an independent North use the first past the post voting system? I have no idea what the hell that is. But let's answer the question, and then perhaps somebody can explain the ones in my head. We believe in democracy. The form this takes is for a constitutional assembly to decide. So again, no plan. Having experienced the government's delivered by first past the post, we will argue against it. So you have no idea what you are going to do, but it sounds like you know what you're not going to do. I guess that's half a step in the direction.
Okay, for the Americans here, does somebody want to explain what this first past post voting is?
I can do that.
Oh, no.
But I need permission from Mike because I don't want to get in trouble again.
Go on then.
Mike is such a rude, bad teacher. He's like the teacher in the class who throws a thing at your head because you talk too much.
Somebody needs to throw a thing at your head just because you're you.
I'll try to do this the best that I can in a really dumbed down way. In the last, let's just say the last general election in the UK. So the general election is the big one where you vote for who's going to fucking be in charge. I think I forget the figures, but the Conservatives out of all the votes got about, I think, 35%, which means 65% didn't want them. But with first past the post, the Conservatives win.
So it's like gerrymandering.
No, but I appreciate that you brought that up because that is a thing that they're doing now. Again, Mike, get your pencil, write this down for a future show. I'm not going to go there. But that's just our stupid system. It doesn't matter. Perps will understand this because Perps is insanely clever. But the party that gets 30% of the votes wins, even though 70% of the people voted against it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So basically the party with the most votes is the party that wins. This is why we talk about splitting the vote, because say in one constituency you've got Labour, the Tories, and And now you've got the Northern Independence Party.
If they even make it to a ballot.
The socialists, the socialist vote is now going to be split up between the Labour Party and the Northern Independence Party. Those two, between them, they could get the most votes.
I see what's going on here. So it's similar to the way that the Democratic Party here in the U.S. is infighting between pragmatic people such as myself who understand the importance of getting the Republicans out and will vote blue no matter who, and the crybabies who stomp their feet because we're not getting universal health care and free college fast enough. And because of that split in the vote, that's how we ended up with Trump. So it's similar to that?
Yeah.
Basically? Okay. Just making sure I had that right. I'm sure I've probably pissed off a good portion of the side chat because I do recall last show everybody was very upset with me for flat out saying, you know what?
Sorry.
There's a lot of people upset with me for that. Like, no.
There's a similar situation over here where Mike may know about this, but when we did the when we did the local elections, you had who you're going to vote for, which was first past the post, and then where I live, you had a second thing to vote for the mayor.
Yeah.
Which was more proportional kind of representation ish.
Okay.
So you had to like pick first choice, second choice, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Mike knows and Purple understands this because Purple taught me that they have a system in America. I can't remember its name, but
the Electoral College?
No. Where it's not about just voting for a one thing. You have choices like kind of A, B, C, first preference, second preference kind of thing.
Oh,
the ranked choice voting, which unfortunately it's not used very much in the U.S. I would like to see it implemented in every state, but we're far from that.
So, why do you propose Northumbria? Before stool starts. Northumbria is the historic name of the regions we consider the North. Formed from the merged kingdoms of Dara and Bernicia in the 7th century.
Jesus.
And meaning north of the Humber. We propose it because this period of history represents the last time the North was united as an independent entity. Well, okay then.
Oh God, yeah. So they're thinking that I guess their thinking must be that what worked well in the 7th century is going to work well in the 21st century.
No, it's not. There, I said it.
I agree with you.
Oh my God! It's a miracle! Actually, no, Stool has agreed with me at least once a show lately. We're getting towards civility.
Why is it that the more information I'm getting on this, the less I think they've thought this out at all?
Because that's exactly what's happened. It's not thought out in the slightest.
No.
So why red and yellow? This I need to... The colors of the historic...
Can I interrupt briefly? I'm kind of liking how you two are doing this because you've got a bit of a newsroom situation going on here. So we've got Mike reading the first parts and then Sci Niece goes into the next. And you're doing really good at this. I'm very proud of you both.
Well, we've had plenty of practice because, you know, the ridiculous Republican section of normal shows was my idea. So that usually ends up being my baby.
Yeah.
So this is the more innocent stuff where I don't have to pretend I understand politically more than I actually do. So these are the colors, red and yellow. These are the colors of the historic flag of Northumbria. The standard of St. Oswald. Stop it. the founder of Northumbria. It is one of the oldest flags in the world.
The
That can
oldest
only
what?
Stool's underwear.
Oh, I misheard.
Stool, for 5 minutes, could you not be yourself? Originally, it was gold and purple, but this was later changed to our fetching yellow and burgundy, which, by the way, is a terrible combination.
Yeah.
Especially that shade. You know, if it was slightly darker, maybe, but yeah, that's just the woman in me. So the currency, I have no idea what this is again. This is again Purple's point about this is not well thought out at all. This isn't thought out, period. So what currency would we use? This depends entirely on the political landscape at the time of independence. We don't know what the relationship between the pound, the euro, and other currencies will look like when we gain independence. So you admit this might not happen for a long time. What we can say is that decisions about our currency should be based on the will of the people and the advice of economic experts in the circumstances of the time. That was an entire non-response.
Yeah.
Woven into multi-syllable words to make stupid people think they know what they're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm just gonna turn the next question back over to Mike because my brain hurts from all the stupid, and if my brain hurts too much, it's going to start bleeding, and then I'm gonna die of a stroke right here on the stream. So I'm not gonna.
I think that Sci Niece made a very good point there.
Yeah.
Because idiots and grifters and liars who use multi-syllable. I can't say that word.
Multi-syllable.
There's irony there. I can't say multi-syllable. That's a big
multi-syllable. You almost had it.
This is the irony. There are a lot of syllables in that word. I'm trying to say multi-syllable. Purple, help me.
Multi-syllable.
No, but with the ick on the end.
Multisyllabic.
Multisyllabic. That's the one, yeah. So, do you see the irony? And I can admit that I'm a dick. I could not just say that word.
That's the thing, you know, if you were a complete idiot, you would just think you knew everything.
I call this the Peterson effect. I like Jordan Peterson.
It's pure sophistry.
Oh, nice word. He talks bullshit and uses big words.
Yeah.
That most of his fans, to be honest, they don't understand the words. But
the larger the words, the smarter you sound. And if you sound smart, people assume that you are smart. Therefore, you must know what you're talking about, and they should follow you.
Well, I think this document is written with the idea that if we don't actually state anything, we won't offend anybody. So therefore, they'll vote for us.
Yeah.
That's also, I'm sure, a factor. But I honestly think this is more just a really, really terrible attempt to disguise the fact that this has no forethought whatsoever, no real plan.
I'm going more and more to Stool, but I think this is a Poe.
I'm thinking Poe. Actually, no. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
My concern is this. That if they're going to become an independent country in their own right, if they actually get what they want, and Northumbria becomes a country in its own right, what makes them think that the British government or the English government will allow them to keep the pounds?
Not only that, since there's no answer whatsoever as to whether this Northumbria Northern Umbrella would join the EU, who's to say they'd be allowed to use the euro?
Yeah, I think the choices really are between we join the EU and therefore the euro is our currency, or we have to come up with something completely on our own. I don't think there really are any other choices.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I'm not seeing
basically,
it here.
from what I'm seeing, this is a poll party, and it's basically what it's sounding like to me is another attempt at being a grifter. So it's like the Lawrence Fox thing.
Mm.
You know, Lawrence Fox knew damn well that nobody likes him. He was never going to win. But if he repeated and parroted the right-wing bullshit, he'd get funded.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he got 5 million quid for his election campaign. So I'm not going to talk about Turning Point or Turning Point UK, but again, get your pencil out, Mike, and write this down for a future episode. There is something really sinister going on in this country with right-wing grifters who get paid an enormous amount of money for spreading bullshit.
Yeah, we have people like that here. They're called Fox News.
Oh yeah, but you've had that for 20, 30 years. To us, it's a very relatively new thing.
Mm.
And it's gone through the roof in recent years. And it scares the crap out of me. But whatever. I'm just a French boy.
You're just a French boy. Nobody loves you.
I was
gonna
going the
do
same
that.
place, yeah.
I was going there. You can't. But I respect copyright laws, so I didn't do that.
Parody qualifies as fair use under United States law.
I'm not going to go into this because that's a
Wait.
total
If
sidetrack.
parody qualifies as fair use, does that mean I can sing any Weird Al song?
I don't think you can use the exact same lyrics. You'd probably have to twist them around a little, kind of like I just did to.
But it's all parody.
But will get taken down if it's used for too long anyway.
Yeah, so let's keep that to a minimum. I made my Queen reference, and we're done here.
Yeah, but my concern is this: if and it is a big if, Northumbria they do win, and Northumbria becomes an independent nation.
Stop laughing.
They're gonna plunge the North into a winter of discontent.
Oh, no, Mike, the Americans don't understand that phrase.
Do I need to explain it?
I would appreciate an explanation. Perhaps viewers would as well.
I'll let Mike do this.
Okay, the winter of discontent happens.
But I will interrupt.
No, you will not if you know what's good for you. Now shut it.
I know what's good for me. I got a major bollocking from Mike.
Sai, you're interrupting his interrupting.
You're interrupting my interrupting of his interrupting, Purple, so you shush.
Stop interrupting me.
And it happened in the 70s. Then when Labour was in power, and basically everyone went on strike, and there's rubbish piling up in the streets. There are dead bodies piling up in the streets. There were electricity blackouts. It was terrible, and
yeah. But can I a slight interject here, because Mike, I can't remember how old you are. I don't think you're old enough to actually remember those times. But for the benefit of the Americans,
not quite.
No, I'm being polite. But for the benefit of the Americans, here in the UK in the 70s, your electricity would be turned off at 5 p.m. in your house.
For what?
And people because we couldn't afford to do things. This country was so fucked. So your electricity was turned off at 5 p.m. The electricity was for the businesses, the industries. After 5 p.m., you were in darkness. no heating, no nothing. It was a bad pile of fucking crap. It really was. So all these people, and I'm talking to Mike because you Americans don't get this. All these people who say, "Oh, I remember before 1973, before we joined the EEC, the EU, life was brilliant." It really wasn't. It was fucking dire.
It wasn't.
It was shit.
Oh, we understand that quite well, but in a different context. Look at all the old white men who missed the days before the civil rights movement.
So this was make the EU great again?
Yeah. But my point is that it will certainly be an economic clusterfuck because they don't have a plan for what they're going to do with the currency. If they manage to get their way and get an independent North.
Yeah. Well, and these people clearly do not understand everything that went wrong with Brexit because they're making all the same mistakes here.
Can I just reply to somebody inside chat, Mike, please?
Yeah.
Nerdy is very awesome, and I've no idea if Nerdy is a male or a female or whatever. But this is not a joke. This is a thing that actually happened in the 70s in the UK. We were so shit. We were so fucking shit. And we were begging on our knees, let us into what you now call the EU. We were begging.
Yeah.
So these people, these annoying fucktards who say it was better before we joined. Yeah, fuck you.
No, it wasn't. From what it sounds like,
that's gaslighting. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Is this a party aimed at the whole of the North, or does it operate along class lines? Our aim is to represent the whole of the North and everyone that lives here. We make no apology for being predominantly a working class party, as the working class feel the brunt of the North-South divide, and it is their voices that are routinely ignored. We believe that improving the conditions of the poorest and most neglected among us will in turn improve the conditions of those who are already doing well. To achieve this, we seek the perspective.
Rewind. No, just rewind a sentence or two back. I can't see the text, though.
We believe that improving the conditions of the poorest and the most neglected among us will in turn improve the conditions of those who are already doing well.
Trickle up economics now. Really?
That's a weird.
Well, wicking up.
Fuck.
That's
a weird thing.
There's no explanation of how that's going to work. We're just supposed to take them at their word. We're just supposed to take them at their word that will happen. To achieve this, we seek the perspective of all Northerners, and we invite people from all backgrounds in the North to join us and contribute to our vision.
What even is
in other
your
words,
vision?
yeah. In other words, we have no clue. We're looking for ideas, so please email us.
Answers on a postcard,
Lord
please.
Of the Flies is what this is. It's fucking Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. Answers on a postcard to W128QT. Now, if you don't get that reference, Mike, you are dead to me.
Shut up. I don't get the reference. Am I dead to you?
No, I can give you some slack because you're not British.
Honestly, I did not come
young.
here to make fun of this, but there's just so little substance to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't help but rip on it.
Yeah. And the thing is, and and this is the thing. They say that they're predominantly for the working class, but not it's a stereotype that everyone in the North is working class. There are some rich people and well-off people, here in the North as well. And there were some quite affluent areas here in the North. So not everyone's going to vote. Not everybody is going to vote for them. And
I hate the old stereotypes about Northern people being poor. So just for you, Mike, I'm going to show you my big ferret.
No, we're not getting banned for you whipping out your dick. Put your pants back on.
I love to breed my big ferrets, Mike.
Wait, is that an actual animal?
I don't think so.
I hope not, because that's terrifying. It looks like a horrible taxidermy job.
I've also got a flat cap.
I think that was the big muff from his microphone.
Oh, man, because I've always wanted an actual ferret. I have a soft spot for them. My mother never let me have one because, as she put it, I'm not letting a weasel in my fucking house.
So if they think,
I thought there was going to be a ferret.
If they think that everyone in the North is going to vote for them, they're delusional.
Bold assumption. Quite a bold assumption.
Yeah. And do you want to do the last one then Sci Niece?
Of course, you have to have me read the most idiotic non-response to the stupid question. I don't mind. Let's do this. Isn't it more effective to advocate for the North and Westminster rather than pursue independence? We will be doing both. Well, there you go. Even with a government program as radical and transformative as in 1945, until we address how the UK is structured, the power relations within it will never change. The North needs its own voice to stand against the interests of Westminster. We can't trust the system built on inequality to dismantle that same inequality. That didn't even answer the question of whether it's more effective to... You really had to slap the biggest crock of stupid on me, huh?
So the North needs its own voice, like maybe having representatives in Parliament?
Which we already have.
Yeah.
But so which is it? Are you pursuing independence or are you seeking to advocate for yourselves in Parliament? Decide.
Good.
I think that the terribly scary thing is that there are people out there.
No, Greg, they didn't misspell program. The UK likes to spell things all fancy, like adding U's where they don't belong.
Yeah, the UK has a surplus of vowels, so they're trying to use them up.
There are people out there who will actually fall for this nonsense. And that's what scares me because...
Well, look at the Trump-tards.
It's kind of
splitting. Doesn't shock you anymore.
It's splitting.
It's scary, yes, but it's surprising. The problem is that these people are so stupid, but they also vote.
I'm not convinced that there are actually people who believe this nonsense. I'm quite sure that there are idiots who fall for this crap, but I don't think that they're big enough. I could be wrong.
So you're thinking this is a fringe movement and probably a joke?
There aren't enough people to make a difference if they were to vote for these people. But then again, UKIP happened and Brexit, the Brexit Party happened. So what do I know?
Not a damn thing, apparently. But none of us really do if we can keep getting blindsided by increasing waves of insanity and stupidity rolled into one. Just there's a complete lack of forethought here. I don't think anybody involved in this movement has any idea how any government actually works. and what it would take to form a new country.
Hmm.
Oh, Perps and me, we've got that sorted.
I
Don't
think
worry.
it's been demonstrated enough times to conclude that if you take a random sampling of any population, 1/3 of them will be idiots.
I think that number is quite higher. Then again, look at the circumstances I live around
Hmm.
and work with. I'm actually
Yeah.
interviewing at another hotel. I'm hoping to get the hell out of the hellhole I'm at now. I'm going to be interviewing Monday, and perhaps I'll have even crazier stories.
Yeah. But the stall is right. All they're going to succeed in doing is split the socialist vote and keep the Tories in for
So there's
another
something to be said
10
for
years.
this being. So there's something to be said for this being an undercover Tory plot.
Yes.
Yeah, I would go for that because
Well, look
I'm
at how
doing
the Koch brothers founded the Tea Party. On the
yeah,
down
exactly.
low.
I would go for that because if you look at what happened, only Mike will get this, but if you look what happened in the general election with what Farage did, and he did a fuck. That cunt. Oh, sorry. He did a bad thing.
Wait a minute, I think that Nerdy's got an explanation for all this.
Oh, let's see.
Mike, can you highlight that? There we go.
On the plus
the
side,
plus-
however, it means the stool would need a passport to leave Northumbria.
I would too, though.
Very slight aside here, Mike. I downloaded the new NHS app today. Not the track and trace one, but the proper legitimate thing that is actually the NHS. And I tried to register with it. It's fucking impossible for me. I've no
you
idea
old
why I'm
people
talking
always
about
have
this.
trouble with that kind of thing.
No, I can do look technology, but my driving license has expired. My passport has expired. So,
Oh, your driver's license expired. Good. So if I ever visit your neck of the woods, I don't have to worry that you'll hit me with a car.
I'm kind of going back to kind of voter suppression here.
Yes, that could be a big. Yeah. Let's.
You don't have enough government paperwork to get government paperwork, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And just for the record, Mike knows this, obviously, because he's insane and clever, and he's he watches things. But we now have a new thing here now in the UK, where voter ID is now coming in.
Yeah.
Yes, we did discuss that with the Queen's speech.
Yes, that's right.
If not for the fact that obtaining valid identification is just so damn difficult and can be very expensive and time consuming. In theory, the idea of presenting ID works, but in practice, it's just not feasible.
It's difficult to get it because, it's difficult to get it because on the NHS app, obviously and correctly, you have to verify that you are who you are.
Yes.
And, I can verify up to a certain point, after which I can go no further. I can't provide a valid. I am allowed to drive. I have a driving license, but that's a different conversation.
You should not be allowed to drive.
But my photo ID thing expired, so that's out. I can't.
Your
show a
driver's
passport.
license and your photo ID are not the same card?
No, we have to. Oh, don't get me started on this. No, Mike.
Because my driver's license is my identification.
Don't get me started on this, Mike, please.
Yeah.
But so it's very difficult for me to do it. So I don't have access to the things that would verify my identification. And so the next thing I have to do, I'm talking about NHS and COVID and so forth, I would now have to walk to my doctors to request a letter to be sent to me and then jump through hoops, which is a ridiculous pain in the ass thing to do. But it goes back to what Purple will understand about voter suppression. If you put hurdles in front of people...
I understand it as well. How dare you assume that I wouldn't?
I know you do, but Purple is the clever one. But if you put hurdles in front of people, they're less likely to do the thing, aren't they?
Well, I mean, for a lot of people, they have put hurdles that really are pretty much insurpassable. A lot of the voter ID laws in the southern states, are requiring people who don't have a driver's license to somehow travel to a city that is more than an hour away where there are no buses or trains in order to get the voter ID.
Yeah.
So how's that supposed to work for anybody who can't afford to get a driver's license in the first place?
Exactly. And
especially access to public transit in a lot of those cases is almost or completely non-existent.
This is the thing that scares me, because on the surface it sounds very good, doesn't it? Let's all have ID, let's all be modern. And it sounds on the surface to be very good.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, in theory, it could be a great idea. Just in practice,
it's not going to work, because there are people who can't afford to do the things to jump over the hurdles. Oh, thank you, Spooky. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, let me. What? Why does this still e-bike come? Oh,
hello,
my God.
Spooky. So,
yeah, hi, Spooky.
I've got to be honest about
I wonder if
this.
Spooky saw the picture I tweeted last night.
My accent is really shit because I'm northern, and I'm immensely paranoid about it.
Because you're French.
Yeah, I'm French. Yeah, I'm French. And that just makes me really paranoid.
So what do people think of this idea of independent North?
This isn't an idea. This is a plot bunny. This is not an idea. This is a little plot bunny.
Yeah,
we get it, Stool, and that's getting on my damn nerves.
I would tend to support the theory that this was done by a rival party to split their vote.
Yeah, that's definitely what this is starting to sound like. The way they use the multi-syllable babble to sound smart. This is just a hunk of bullshit. It's a thinly veiled attempt to split votes so that the Tories can stay in power, because the curtain is being drawn farther and farther back on their bullshit. Much credit to us for that, eh, Mike?
Well, it's clear there's no real plan here.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I would disagree in that I think it's just a very standard grift.
Well, the only plan here is to split the vote. There's no actual plan for the North to separate from the rest of the UK.
It's complete fantasy. This is more ridiculous than that thing that you people used to watch on the television. That thing with the dragons that flew.
Which one? There's a lot of those. Are you talking about Game of Thrones?
Yeah, that shit.
Yes.
I never saw Game of Thrones.
It's fantasy.
Just another thing to add to the long list of things I've never seen. I've never watched Game of Thrones. Go ahead, side chat, eviscerate me.
This is what
I'm totally on your. Sorry, Mike. I'm totally on your side because I've never seen it and I've no fucking interest in it whatsoever.
But this
Yeah,
is
it's not my thing. No. You want to watch a good show? I prefer police procedurals. Although I also enjoy a good sitcom.
but this one thing that is not on their manifesto is that they're going to build a giant ice wall
Oh,
to
Jesus.
keep out the White Walkers, and they're going to make Jon Snow King of the North.
Oh, my God.
Am I
Well,
one of the White
I'm not going to get
Walkers?
into the wall building conversations because us Americans are having more flashbacks of the last motherfucker that was talking about building a wall.
Yeah, well,
You all know the one.
I think the scary thing is that we have seen both in the US and the UK that somebody who has no real plan can still get elected to the highest office.
That's what makes this whole thing scary. It's definitely starting off as, I think we're all seeing it for what it is here. This is a plot, probably Tory related, to split the vote so that the Tories can stay in power. That's almost definitely what's going on here. The problem is a couple of idiots may actually run with the idea and it may start to gain traction. So the question after that will be, oh, fuck, it actually happened. Now what? Who is this punchable looking motherfucker?
That is Philip Proudfoot. He's the leader of the Northern Independence Party.
Okay, let me look at this yuppie looking. Okay, get me a bigger view of this. What the fuck? He looks like his father will hear about this.
Make that picture bigger. Can you make that picture bigger, please, Mike?
I'll try.
But will you succeed?
I don't think I can actually.
Just click on it. Click on the picture. It'll take you to the website.
Yeah,
there's the website anyway.
Jesus Christ. He went. A college accepted him?
I'm just going to put this out here, and if you want to call me a dick for stereotyping people.
We call you a dick for other reasons, but go on.
Notice the haircut.
What hair?
Not mine, but the pic that Mike is showing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks like his father will hear about this.
I don't want to do it.
You know what this hair kind of reminds me of? Purple will know the name. Kyle Curtis.
I don't want to do a Godwin, but look at the haircuts.
Oh
just saying.
God. No, he looks like a stereotypical yuppie white boy. And with a name like that, he's got to... This is definitely some sort of... You know what? Now there's another now there's another layer here. He's got to compensate for the fact that his name probably got him bullied from kindergarten on. Or whatever the hell you have in the UK.
Yeah.
So now he's compensating. Like, oh my God, you have a stupid name. So now you've got to make up for the fact that you have a stupid name by appearing to have this big smart idea that's not actually that smart.
I can't remember what the name of this. Perps will help me.
Stool's a duck for stereotyping people? A duck?
What is... No, I know what a duck is, you dick. Perps, what's the name for that thing where you have to compensate for your perceived failures in life? What is that called?
Nah, I can't come up with the term for it.
I know there's Napoleon complex when you...
That's what I was going for. I was going for that.
Yeah, but that's usually not more for failures in life, but a Napoleon complex is when a small person, like an actually physically small person, has to make up for the fact that they're physically small.
Yeah, but...
Like they feel this compulsion. There's a lot of cops with that complex. I just dealt with one on Sunday.
That's kind of the thing that I was going for. But fun fact, Napoleon was actually quite tall. So that's a bit of
I did hear that.
Myth.
Napoleon was actually about 5'7", which was average height for a man in France at that time.
By that logic, I'm actually fairly small.
Yeah,
I'm only 5'5".
The whole thing about Napoleon being short was actually started by one of his detractors, a newspaper publisher, who was one of his political adversaries.
Ah,
so it was entirely
ancient
propaganda.
Mudslinging.
Yeah,
Ancient
it was entirely a
mudslinging. I
propaganda
love
thing.
it.
And it has survived hundreds of years later. That most people still believe it.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that a complex was named after it, I mean, damn. I wonder if this political adversary is proud of himself now, wherever afterlife he may be in, if there is one.
I think I'm looking for a different word, because you're correct in saying Napoleon complex. But
well, I know there is a clinical term for it, but I can't come up with the word.
I'm kind of
inferiority complex?
That could be it. Yeah, good one. Nice one. Yeah. That's correct. And this brings me back into a total derail about
never. How dare? Hold on a minute. Spooky has just insulted me. First of all, let's just hang on a minute. First of all, I've been there. I've done that. I'll never get married again. How many times have you motherfuckers heard me say, fuck my ex-husband? I'm happy to be divorced. Second of all, Stool is probably old enough to be my father. That's disgusting. Stool's not a pedophile, and I don't have daddy issues that severe.
Okay.
Anyway.
Give him a break. Spooky came in late and missed the fact that Stool is going to marry your boyfriend.
No, that's Mike. No. I think Mike kind of got roped into being Josh's latest objective.
I do actually. I know you think I'm a dick, but I do find this line of conversation, to be very interesting, because Priti Patel, right? She's got a serious problem.
Sounds like she is a serious problem based on what Will said about her earlier in the chat.
And I kind of know what it is. And I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, but I can see what her problem is. And it scares the crap out of me. And I don't want to do a Godwin, but if you look back in history, I'm not doing it. But if you look back in history, when you get individuals who have a chip on their shoulder,
like you,
they're nothing people. You can point at them and you can laugh. But when you put them all together and you give them power, you've got a fucking big problem.
Yeah. That's how you end up with the Republican Party.
Just saying, I've spent many years trying to warn people what is happening with these dicks who are in charge of us. Some people get it, some people don't, whatever. I'm tired of it. I'm a nobody. My words mean nothing. But be scared. Be very scared.
I've been scared for a long time, even at the state of affairs here in the U.S. And now seeing that our UK counterparts are faring just as badly, if not worse in some areas, it's not that I had any faith or hope for humanity, but any hope of me ever having it again just went all the way down the toilet.
Well, and I don't know how much other people heard of it, but there actually had been an idea floated before that Texas was threatening to leave the U.S. and declare themselves independent.
Oh, yeah. Let them go. We don't need them.
Well, see,
Florida can go too.
Well, and they realized that was actually the popular opinion, that most people were ready to let them go because without that 26 electoral votes, that would have sunk the Republican Party from winning another election.
Yeah.
So basically, Texas is a state for no reason other than spite at this point.
Yeah. We don't want them. They don't want to be here, but the Republicans can't afford to let them go.
Well,
so
all the more reason to vote Democrat, people, stop crying about the healthcare and education system for the moment. I promise you we'll deal with that later. Get the Republicans out and we can get Texas out. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Without Texas, our education system would greatly improve.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's right. Because
currently, Texas
is approved in Texas, right?
Yes, Texas was one of the biggest markets for the textbooks. So all the textbooks have to be dumbed down to something that will be accepted by the schools in Texas.
Seriously, Texas doesn't need us either. They've got their own goddamn power grid. And that's not an exaggeration.
I can't remember the exact
technicalities.
No, I've got to pick up on this, what Perps just said, because Texas, in your weird country, which I will never understand, but Texas basically writes the books that children read.
Yes.
Yeah, they have to be edited.
Standard.
All the elementary school textbooks have to be edited so they're acceptable in Texas.
That is so fucked.
Yeah, and that's really what's been dumbing down our science textbooks for the last, 50 plus years.
But do you see what I did there, Mike?
Yeah.
You see, I'm all inclusive. So you were talking about a thing that nobody knows a fuck about. And I brought in the Americans. I'm good.
Anyway, so are we all agreed that an independent North is a bad idea?
This is harebrained bullshit. That's what it is.
It's a made
if there is any potential for it to being a good idea, they have to come up with a plan, which they don't have.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
it's not an idea.
The textual tapestry is not convincing enough for people with brains.
Honestly, the only way I could see this as possibly being a good idea is if they had some plan to become independent so that they could rejoin the EU. That was the only way I could see this as, doing something good for the people there.
That's what I thought was going on when I first dove into the rabbit hole, because I did half do the homework. I was just also sidetracked by trying not to drop dead. But because my health situation is worsening, not improving. I'll full disclosure. But I first dove into the rabbit hole thinking, okay, maybe the North UK, the Northerners here, they regret Brexit and they want to come back to the EU. The EU. I thought that was the motivation here. Now I'm seeing that it's just nothing.
Well, that's
it's inane babble disguised as a plan.
I had heard an idea that Scotland was saying that they wanted to separate from England so that they could be part of the EU again. So I kind of thought that these people were thinking that was a good idea, so they were going to join in with Scotland on that.
Well,
that's a somewhat reason. I get what you're doing, Mike. I'll keep this brief.
Go on.
There is some legitimacy in Scotland wanting to be independent and then to rejoin the UK, the EU. That's a legitimate thing that could possibly happen. But this nonsense with the people who want Northumberland to be an independent no, that's just crazy, fucked up, give me your money kind of stuff. I bet they've got a page where you can donate to them.
Probably, yeah.
I bet they've got a PayPal account.
I think they do have a donation link somewhere in that website.
Well, I'm sure they would, but any political group is going to have that.
Well,
Just saying.
So, I think we'll wrap things up. And,
You've done 1 hour.
Maybe we don't have anything
today,
fluffy
Mike.
Maybe we don't have anything fluffy and cute to kind of restore our faith for this one. Perhaps I should have gone and found something. Instead, all I have is doom and gloom.
Oh.
Do you need fluffy?
But,
honestly, I wish I still had my fucking cat, but Josh's sister took her. the birds are gone too, and I can't really cuddle a turtle, and he'll bite me.
Why did she take your kitty?
Because she had it in her head that it was her cat. And Josh is too much of a pussy to stand up to her. So I was at work at the time. I really had no say in the matter. It's fine because I'll get the bitch back. Let's just say I've got a lot of dirt on her. And I can be very cruel.
I think we need to allow Mike to do his thing because he's trying to barge in and do his thing. So let's just give Mike some respect.
Yes.
I mean, we are very bad at this. I'll do science for you, and I'll prove to you one day why these video things don't work for me. I don't actually talk over people. I really don't. I'll do some science one day and prove it to you. But let Mike do his thing. And let him sign off nicely.
Shut up.
Oh, please don't tell me you've got a fucking long outro. Please, Mike, please don't.
I wasn't going to have a long intro, but now you've said please don't have a long intro outro. I'm going to have one.
Yes.
Execute Order 66.
None of us are Jedi. We're all Sith Lords here.
But do join the Discord. The link's in the description.
Since when do we have a Discord? Where the fuck was I?
I don't know. But
probably in the hospital bed.
I keep forgetting.
Discord is as useful as anybody's Discord.
Anyway.
And so yeah, there's the links in the description, and there's if you want to support the channel, you can. There's various links in the description for that too. And if you've liked this video, and then do like and share and hit the bell icon and all the rest of it.
I hated it.
And thanks to everyone for turning up and being in the side chat, and we'll see you.
To have everyone.
We'll see you next time for a regular on the sofa.
And what a doozy it will probably be. We will be playing catch up after all because we had to go have this special, so it'll be another fun one.
So until then, bye for now.
Bye-bye.